Welcome everyone to Exercise Breakdowns here on NUNZI YouTube. Today on the menu, one of my favorites, the wide Sumo Barbell Deadlift. So, listen up, grab a notepad, grab some paper, because we are got a lot to cover here in this exercise breakdown. Now, first of all, before we jump into the exercise, let's jump down one of the most important things about deadlifting that so many people get wrong. And this is a little bit of a mindset that I use with my clients that's really helped them over the years. To think about for physics for a sec here, guys, the angle of force. So when we're squatting, we're thinking about coming down in a vertical plane and squatting up, right? So if I was to draw the line of force, it's coming down to up. So think of it, squatting is vertical. Now, when we talk about deadlifting, we want to focus on that horizontal line of force where I'm squeezing in. So a lot of people, when they're deadlifting, they get that wrong and they have bending in the knees. If you're bending in the knees and your butt drops, that is now engaging your quads, and we are not doing a deadlift. So the key when we're deadlifting, and this is no matter what stance, if it's wide sumo, standard, short, whatever, you want to have a little bit of bend in the knee to relieve some pressure on the back. But the key is that your glutes are staying high up. So we call this tabletop position, where my back is flat, my chest is up, my core is tight, and as you guys can see, I have slight bend in the knee. This is a very good position to start my deadlift. Now, to bring my body up, I'm going to squeeze through my glutes and my hamstrings to raise me up. As you can see, I didn't extend in the lower back. I'm keeping all the tension and force into my glutes and hamstrings. So this is the load, explode. And I would encourage everyone right now at home to try this, because if you can't do this body weight, you're not going to be able to do it with weight. So once again, what I want you to do is have a slight bend in the knee, drive the hips out, bending over, and you're going to squeeze up through your glutes. A very common thing I see when people are new in deadlifting is they don't bend from the hip, they bend from the stomach region. So sometimes you'll see this. We don't want that. Remember, we're sticking the glutes out. Stick the glutes out, stick the glutes out. You really want to have that flat back, that core tight, and you're squeezing through your glutes and hamstrings. So I suggest, if you are new, grab yourself a dumbbell or a kettlebell, much easier place to start than the barbell, and really work on this motion where you're squeezing through your glutes and your hamstrings to raise the body. That is really the groundwork to deadlifting, hands down. So now that we got that down, let's jump to the show, the wide sumo deadlift. So as you guys know, when we take a wide sumo stance, we're looking for our feet outside the shoulders. That is going to already have a wide stance, and the reason why we call it sumo is because we angle our feet out 45 degrees. Think of a sumo. You're in a sumo match, right? When you angle your feet out 45 degrees, that's going to invite the glute medius into play. So rule of thumb when you're deadlifting with the bar is you want to have the bar directly over your shoelaces. That's a good level, and you're trying to keep that bar as tight to your body as you can. You don't want to have this kind of a distance, because when I pull up, my back is going to take the load. I really want to make sure my feet are under the bar. This way, when I'm pulling up, I have a good center of gravity, and there's going to be not a lot of tension on my back. And the most common thing you get when people are deadlifting and they're new is back pain. That's because the bar's too far away. So, back to the explanation here. We're going to come making sure our shoelaces are over the bar, angling the toes out. Those same rules apply. I'm going to have a slight bend in the knee to relieve the back, and I'm going to push my hips back, not down, back. In this position here, my back is flat, hands are going to go inside the bar, and I'm going to squeeze and drive my hips up. So I'm going to do 15 reps, watch nice and close, and I'll break it down. Bars tight to the body for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. So let's break down a couple key points in this. There are many different styles of deadlifting. This is called an RDL, which is a Romanian style deadlift. This is very crucial because, as you guys saw in that set, I was working a small range, right? So this would be a full range deadlift from ground all the way up and squeeze, right? But we're working too many muscles here. For me, my focus is the glutes, which means I want to have the starting about 6 inches off the ground, we call that about mid shin. And I only want to come up till I'm just past my knees. So it's up past to the knees, so lower quad to about mid shin, to lower quad to mid shin. That way I'm keeping all of the tension in the glutes. That is so important when you're squat or deadlifting for glutes. You guys have heard me talk a lot about how important tension is in this exercise breakdown series. And this is really the nuts and bolts of how we grow muscle. So when you're deadlifting and you're doing, when you want to focus on building those glutes, don't let the weight hit the ground. Don't extend all the way up. Let's grab a second set here, 15 reps. I'm going to go through the checklist. Shoelaces over the bar, wide stance, toes angled out. Core is tight, glutes drive back, back is flat. Hands go inside the bar, sitting up, glutes are high, and I'm driving up through. Good. 1. Milking that little range, mid shin, lower quad. Mid shin, lower quad. It's almost like I'm cupping my glutes underneath the bar. I'm thinking I'm trying to snug my glutes underneath the bar. Oh, what a pump, guys. Here we go. 6. Breathe. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Terrific. Shake it out. So in today's explanation, I'm showing you guys the wide sumo deadlift. When I'm doing a wide sumo deadlift, I'm not trying to go super heavy. You could go heavier if you wanted, but then again, I'm not a power lifter, I'm a bodybuilder, so the focus is really about building muscle. That's why I don't hit the ground. When you hit the ground, you lose tension. When you extend up, you lose tension. We do not want to lose tension. And if you are new, you're way better off starting to learn how to deadlift with a kettlebell or dumbbells to really work on that first few minutes of this video, which I'd watch again, learning how to hip hinge. You gotta learn how to hip hinge in order to learn how to deadlift properly. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit one more set here just to show you guys one more time a proper wide sumo deadlift. Going through the checklist, shoelaces underneath the bar, toes are angled out, feet are outside shoulders, hips are driving back, but glutes are up in the air, core is tight, back is flat, and I'm squeezing up for 1, 2, 3, driving those hips in, 4, 5, working that range, mid shin, lower quad, mid shin, lower quad. We got 8, 7, 6, always breathing, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One last point here, making sure your head is always neutral. Never deadlift like this or like this. Always want to keep your spine in a neutral position. So when you're doing this type of exercise, I always love a higher volume style of training, anywhere from 5 to 8 sets, looking at around 8 to 12 reps. That's usually a good target for the wide sumo deadlift. So throw this into your next posterior chain day. Really practice the hip hinge. And when you can unlock that, you're gonna unlock your glutes, guys. Please let me know in the comments which exercises you would like me to break down next. And you know what NUNZI always says, if you're not excited, get excited.